and today we're going to be installing something super epic on the Can-Am X3. Alright guys, I received this T304 stainless mid-pipe from RPM POWERSPORTS. Actually got it in the mail today, and man, this thing's sweet. I'll zoom in up close here. Look at the welds on this thing is awesome. This is all TIG welded, guys. Super nice. I love the RPM logo here, how it's welded in. This is for your factory heat shield, so factory heat shield go right back over it. Also, if you haven't checked out RPM's website and got on there, if you got a side-by-side, if you ain't checked the website out, guys, you really need to. They got high quality products, just as you see here. So if you guys have a Can-Am or a Polaris, be sure to get on their site. I'll leave the link down in the description below to all their products and stuff. You can get on there and check them out. And also, if you plan on ordering something, if you use code Norman at checkout, you'll save 5%, guys. So be sure to use my code. It helps me out and it'll help you out. Get on there and check their stuff out. Also guys, if you haven't checked my previous video out of the blow-off valve installed from RPM POWERSPORTS, be sure to check it out. I'll leave the link to it in the description also. Guys, that was a super epic video, and that blow-off valve sounds awesome. Once again, it's on the site. You can order it from there too. And I'm super excited to see how this sounds. So let's see what tools we need to install, and let's get to it. Alright guys, so the tools that you're going to need for this build is first a can of PB blaster. I'll show you in the video where this goes. You're going to need a drill with a T30 Torx bit, and that's to take your rear cover off of your muffler. You're going to need a ratchet with a 8mm socket, an extension. You're going to need a pair of needle nose pliers, 11mm wrench, ratchet wrench preferably. You're going to need a crescent wrench, and also guys, you are going to need a spring puller. And this spring puller here, it actually came off of when I bought my little girl's trampoline. This came with it to put the springs on the trampoline, and I had it saved. But if you do not have one of these, you will have to order one from Amazon. Just type in spring puller, and guys, you definitely need this tool no matter what, because you have 4 springs on the exhaust and they're kind of tough to get off. That's all the tools you'll need to get this installed. So with all that being said, let's get the exhaust on. Alright guys, so one of the first things I done was probably about an hour or so before I started this. I came out and I sprayed this on it about an hour before, and I'll show you where I put it. And right here on the turbo, there's a bolt right here on the bottom. This is your V-band clamp, and I sprayed it on the bolt itself and kind of back inside of here to help loosen that up. Where that turbo gets hot tends to make it harder to get the bolt off, especially if you have a lot of miles on your machine. I don't have a lot of miles on this one, but I sprayed it on there just in case, and we'll see if it's any easier to get off. Alright guys, so looks like the next step is to come to the passenger side, and we're going to have to get these springs off right here. And we'll go ahead and take this cover off to make it easier to get to these springs. It's the couple of T30 bolts that's in the back of this. Should just come right off. Then we'll start working on getting the springs off and taking the V-band clamp off. Guys, we got that off. Now we have easier access to pull our springs off. Also, there's a total of 5 bolts in that back muffler guard. Alright guys, so the next step is we're going to take off the O2 sensor, and it has a little zip tie right here. We're going to go ahead and unplug it unplug it right there. Alright guys, I got the O2 sensor unplugged, but I think that the best step would be to go ahead and take the V-band clamp off of the turbo, and then take your springs off. And then when you get the exhaust off, then take your O2 sensor off. That makes it kind of hard to get to where there's shocks in the way, so we'll do that instead. Alright, we'll go ahead and take our clamp off, and this is a 11mm. Alright guys, so you do have to take the nut all the way off of this. Kind of squeeze it and pull it back. Alright, now that's off. Now let's get the clamps off of the heat shield. Okay, now we got one more over on this back side here. Be right here. And looks like the top heat shield don't come off until you take the O2 sensor off. Alright, now we'll get these springs off and it should come off. Alright guys, I'm going to try to do this with trying to film too, so you guys can see. There's one spring off. Second one. Third, and the top one's a little hard to get to. Alright guys, got all the springs off. I had to put the camera down and get this top one. It's kind of on the back side of this muffler. It was a little hard to get to, but I got it off. Now let's see if we can pull the pipe off. Alright guys, got the pipe off, and I thought this was really cool. You can see back inside the turbo. It's pretty cool. A lot of people may already know what it looks like, but I've never had anything that was turboed, so it's kind of new to me. I just thought it was pretty cool. Also, this is the RPM blow-off valve that I put on. I put it on last video, so be sure to check it out if you haven't yet. So now let's put our new mid pipe on. Alright guys, here's our old mid pipe. Here's the RPM POWERSPORTS, and the comparison in weight, guys, is, I'm gonna probably say a couple pound difference in just the weight. So for you guys that race or whatever, you're gonna save a couple pounds, and not only are you gonna save weight, you're gonna gain horsepower with this pipe because you're deleting your Cadillac converter. So excellent upgrade here, going to this stainless mid pipe. Alright guys, so our next step is to take our O2 sensor out of the factory pipe, and we'll put it in the RPM pipe. Loosen that. Alright guys, that was super tight, so may have been best to put some PB blaster on the O2 sensor as well. Alright, now we're going to take our V-band clamp off. Slide it back on. Make sure you slide it back on the exact way it came off too, guys. Now we'll put our top heat shield back on and put our O2 sensor in. Alright guys, so now that we got the mid pipe assembled, it's time to put it back on. Wanted to show you guys too this little koozie they sent me. Thought it was pretty sweet. I don't drink or anything. I got Diet Mountain Dew in it, but it's still, I think it's pretty sweet. It's got a little turbo, mid pipe, intake. I think that's awesome. This is a great company to order from, guys. They've sent me stickers, keychains, this koozie. I really enjoy getting products from them. Alright guys, since we got the mid pipe back in place, I think the next step, we will go ahead and get our heat shields, get the clamps back on those. Probably not tighten them up completely tight. We'll snug them up just to get them up out of the way. Alright guys, we'll go ahead and just snug the clamps up on this heat shield a little bit. I'm not going to tighten it down all the way just yet. Go ahead and snug this one up. Alright, now let's go ahead and get our V-band clamp back on the turbo. Alright guys, got that back on the turbo. It was pretty simple. A lot simpler than what I thought it would be. But as long as you have that loosened up, it kind of stretches out a little bit. So we'll go ahead and put our nut back on the end of this and get it tightened down. Alright guys, so we got the V-band clamp tightened back up. We're going to go ahead and plug our O2 sensor back in. Got it plugged back in, and I had to cut the zip tie that was here, so I'm going to get another zip tie and tie that back up. Alright guys, so the next step is to reinstall your springs, and you'll have to use the spring tool to put these back on. I'll try to film it best as I can. Alright guys, got one of them on. Alright, we got that one on. Alright guys, so finally got all 4 springs back on. I did have to end up taking this bolt out of this heat plate here to kind of give me some room to get this spring on. It was kind of tough where I had to bend it up to put it on, but I finally got it. I'm sorry I couldn't video it. I had to use 2 hands to put the springs on. So now that that's done, we'll go ahead and tighten our clamps back down on our heat shield fully, and then we'll put our shroud back on the rear here. Alright, we'll go ahead and tighten our clamps back down on our heat shield. Man, that looks sweet. I can't wait to hear what it sounds like. So let's go ahead and put our rear guard on, and let's start this thing up, see what it sounds like. Alright guys, so it's first start up since I put everything on, and let's see what it sounds like. Man. Right away guys, you can tell that it's a little bit more sporty, deeper tone. Sounds awesome. today's video. Guys, this mid pipe was super easy to install besides the springs, but probably if I had a longer spring puller, I probably could have done it a lot better, but I used what I had. Guys, this exhaust sounds amazing, and if you want to get you one, be sure to use my code Norman at checkout, and you save you 5%, guys. I'll leave all the link and stuff down below. Leave all your thoughts and comments, and let me know what you think. And if I didn't show you something that you want to see, then just leave that down below and I'll try to get back to you. One other thing I did want to show you on the stock exhaust here, my O-ring gasket was stuck on the stock pipe and I had to pry it off. Make sure you get that off there, guys, so you don't have any exhaust leaks or anything. And then this clamp here, it just stays on the stock pipe because they included a new one. And one more thing that you might be wondering, if you have to tune it or whatever to put this on where you're deleting the cat, but you do not have to. But guys, if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I got more awesome content on the way. Guys, I do appreciate all the love and support that you've showed already. I'm up to 115 subscribers so far. Just keep hitting that subscribe button and get me over 1,000 or even beyond, so I can start making more of these videos for you. But with all that being said, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.